Hello everyone. In my daily life, aside from practicing spiritual rituals, I help people with fortune telling and resolving various issues. I've noticed that many people are said to have child immortal fate, but actually, this fate isn't very common. This might be because those with a connection to the divine are more inclined to believe in metaphysics. Without further ado, let's discuss. Originally referred to the heavenly child, immortals who were demoted to the mortal realm due to some misdeed. People born with this fate are naturally attractive and loved by everyone. These individuals may be summoned back to the heavens at any time, so they often face significant challenges before turning 18 or 40, and tend to have weak constitutions. Their romantic lives are usually troubled. They may be good-looking, but they struggle to find a suitable partner, and often experience delays in finding love. Even after marriage, they are prone to divorce, and may go through multiple divorces. Essentially, in their previous lives, these individuals were young servants of various deities in temples or monasteries, such as sweepers, tea servers, or horse attendants. For various reasons as yearning for the mortal world, escaping, being punished, or having a special mission, they reincarnated as humans. Marriage of those with the. Since people with don't truly belong to this world, they might be called back midway, which could mean dying young, or even if they aren't summoned back, they may lead a life full of hardships, constantly facing obstacles, and rarely achieving success. Another notable characteristic is their difficulty in forming successful marriages. Even if they do marry, their relationships are often troubled, leading to frequent separations or divorces. In simple terms, implies a short lifespan, because these individuals, born to serve the gods, are often called back before they can fully establish themselves in the mortal world. This is why children with might be highly adored, but don't live long enough to marry and settle down, sometimes passing away as 3 years old. Common characteristics of 1. They often have minor chronic illnesses or weak constitutions. 2. Their marriages are delayed and highly unsuccessful, with a high risk of multiple divorces. 3. They have shorter lifespans, facing major life-threatening challenges before 18 or 40, often due to accidents or sudden illnesses. 4. They tend to have above average to excellent physical appearance. 5. Financially, most of them are well off, with few experiencing severe financial difficulties. 6. Some may have strong sixth senses, frequently dreaming about or sensing supernatural events, and having a heightened awareness of impending bad events. How to determine if you have? To determine if you have, you can use the following traditional methods. It's Aussie 8 characters. Check if your birth date aligns with the specific codes indicating you. Hand characteristics. Look for specific lines on your palm that signify a strong connection to the divine. Face characteristics. Those with often have strikingly good looks, with a distinct appearance compared to ordinary people. Birthmarks. Some believe that birthmarks indicate a connection to past lives. Red or brown birthmarks, especially those in specific locations, could signify a high-level child immortal. Method to resolve. 1. Sending a substitute ritual. This involves creating a substitute symbol on a pair of insoles, wearing them for 7 days to absorb the person's essence, and then discarding them in a river. This ritual symbolically sends the substitute to serve the deities, relieving the person of their burden. Adopting obdurance in folk traditions. Having obdurance can protect the individual, with alternatively, some rituals involve dedicating prayers to the deities to protect the individual. When I was meditating with my master in the early days, although I had already cultivated true key to temper my body. I couldn't manage to channel it out. Without channeling true ki, I couldn't train my own spirit beast, as training a spirit beast requires feeding it with one's own true ki. Over time, the spirit beast would obey you, much like how a pet at home recognizes its owner if you feed it every day. My progress in soul refining was also slow. Even my junior, who started learning a few days later than me, felt sensations during meditation, describing a feeling of rising. My master also noticed the difference in my junior. At that time, I was very frustrated, feeling immense pressure and unable to calm my mind. I won't disclose the source of the pressure, but I was busy during the day studying Bazi 8 characters and meditating at night. My life was quite fulfilling, though I remained single. My master once read my fortune using my Bazi, facial features, and palm lines. It turned out that our Bazi were compatible, indicating the destined master-disciple relationship. My master could also tell if two people had a destined marital relationship just by looking at them. If a red thread connected them, the number of threads indicated the number of years they would be together. During the new year, I met a girl who was average looking but came from a very well-off family. Unfortunately, I felt no connection with her. My master suggested bringing her over to see if we were bound by a red thread. If we were, even if I didn't like her, I would end up marrying her. Fearing this outcome, I never introduced her to my master. Looking back now, I realize how naive I was at the time. I picked up my phone to write something, but found myself at a loss for words. Let me tell you a story instead. An old Taoist priest, while traveling, met an orphan and took pity on him, making him his disciple. When the boy reached 17 or 18, the priest calculated that he would face an unavoidable calamity the next month, leading to certain death. Despite the priest's profound skills, he couldn't save his disciple. To avoid ridicule from his peers for failing to foresee his disciple's death, he sent the boy away to find his family. After half a year without any news, the priest assumed the boy had succumbed to his fate and lamented deeply. However, a few days later, the boy returned unharmed. The priest was speechless, sat down to meditate, and calculated why his disciple had survived. It turned out that while the boy was away, he saw an ant nest about to be flooded by rainwater. He quickly used his coat to divert the water, saving the ants. The heavens, moved by his kindness, extended his life, allowing him to escape the calamity. The moral is, do not ignore small acts of kindness, or commit small acts of kindness, or commit small acts of evil. Even ants are living beings and could have been humans or our relatives in previous life. A good deed in this life will be repaid in the next, whereas evil deeds will bring suffering in the afterlife. Always be kind, sincere, and gentle with others. About half a month after starting my training, I was studying the I Ching and 8 trigrams with my master in the dojo when I heard someone shouting from afar. Master Yinzhuan, something terrible has happened. A villager burst into the dojo, out of breath and visibly panicked. Want to know what happened next? Stay tuned for the 4th episode. Your support and encouragement are my greatest motivation for continuing to share. Please like, follow, and share with those who might find this useful.